Hi, I'm Wes Lachot, and I designed this place. We're in Manifold recording. This is the large tracking room A. And when we first started to design this place back about 5 years ago, Michael Tiemann, the owner and brains behind this place, wanted a large tracking room with a high ceiling. The ceilings are 24 feet. We've got it's over 1,400 square feet of floor space. And the idea was to have adjustable acoustics. We can vary the reverb time from somewhere around 3/4 of a second to over a second and a half, and to not have so much deadening like a lot of studios have. With a larger room like this, you do have the possibility of more live acoustics. However, they can be deadened quite a bit. You can see down here at the end of the room these adjustable panels, the tall ones. They're 12 feet tall. There are 10 of them on that end and 10 on this other end that can all be adjusted to either diffusive or absorptive. And then these panels that you see right here that are near, these also have a diffusive and an absorptive side. And so by manipulating all these panels throughout the room, you really can change the acoustics dramatically. And then of course there's a lot of variations between live and dead. So at one end of the room I can see that you guys got it set up today for a fairly diffusive sound here for the drums, more live, and then down that end, a little deader sound. I guess maybe they're going to put some guitar amps down there. I'm not sure what they're planning on putting down there, maybe a vocalist, but the room is large enough to do old school recording. So you've got, you could do the Beatles style recording in this room where you've got a lot of stuff going on in the same room. We also have some large booths if you want to look over here. Some quite large booths. This one's got 16-foot ceiling and a few hundred square feet. It's pretty good size room for either the piano could be, we've got a 9-foot piano that could be isolated in there, drums could be isolated in there. There are a total of 3 ISO booths on this end, and then a couple of sound locks that are quite large that could also be used as ISO booths. So it's a total of, 6 or 7 spaces here that are all wired with microphones. We tried to also bring some natural light into the studio, which is unusual, but you can see that there are clear story lights all the way around the top of the room. So they're way up there, so you don't get the feeling that people are looking in on you, but there's quite a bit of light coming in there. And then the booths also have natural light to the garden. There's a outdoor area for eating and some, reflecting pools and stuff like that. So quite a bit of outdoor space that's incorporated into the studio. We tried to get, these are ultra soundproof windows, but we tried to get a sense of reality here so that you're not cooped up in a prison. And people seem to like it. It's quite a nice place to be for long-term projects.
Very cool.
Studios are famous for being dark places where engineer ends up with a sort of a green studio tan after a few years. So we're hoping to avoid that fate for Ian, our house engineer here. We've got a lot of RPG diffuser type materials in this project. You've already seen in the live room, I guess you saw these blocks. These are kind of interesting here. These are RPG diffuser blocks, and they're actually, what's unusual about this is these are the columns that actually hold up the entire building, and they incorporate bass trapping into the actual building columns. Here you see some more of the RPG diffuser blocks over on this wall, and all throughout the facility you'll see these RPG diffuser blocks. Also, all this wood that you see everywhere on camera, it may just look like regular wood, but it's actually slotted and tuned. These are tuned bass traps all around the studios. The soffits, the underneath sides of the soffits, and all these ceilings are all tuned traps. But they're not super dead because they're about 95% wood surface. We've got this booth over here is quite dead. It's the opposite of this room that we're in. You can see all the walls in there are fabric, absorptive walls. So the idea is to get as many different acoustic possibilities as we could in the room. The architectural style of organic architecture is all about trying to keep a unity of design throughout the entire facility. You'll see these patterns, these diamond patterns on the floor, and Also, you can see through there the stained glass diffusers in the control room are also in diamond patterns. These geometric patterns are all woven together to create a unity of feel. So many studios have a sort of a sense, because of all the strange geometry that's involved, it's easy for studios to become sort of confusing places to be because of all the angled walls and everything. And I tried to avoid that by creating a unity of design with all the architectural elements so that you feel like you're in a human space, human scaled space that is unified. And that's the part that I'm happiest with. I think it really works, and it does feel like a nice place to be. Avoids that sterility that can happen. The materials are mostly concrete, wood, and fabric. That's pretty much it. And there's not too much fabric.